This is First Snap Podcast, and this is your host, Zay Yancey, checking back in with a game review after the Bengals, after we defeated the Bengals. And I'm just going to hop right into it. Let's get into it. Alrighty. I want to hop right into the biggest performance of the game. Pretty obvious, but we're going to go with our boy, Maxx Crosby. What a game from Crosby. My goodness. What a game. I mean, he was all over the field, in the backfield, constantly making plays. I mean, 4 sacks, that probably surprised him, but that's how the game goes. When you play defensive end or pass rusher, some games you might just go off. And that comes from that motor that he has. That comes from his skill. He got some good pass rushing moves. To me, he has a full arsenal. I've seen him hit the spin move. I've seen him hit the rip. I've seen him hit slap the hands and rip. I mean, I done seen a bevy of moves in his arsenal, and it's really awesome to see. And from what I have seen so far from Crosby, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I said it early. I was talking to my cousin, and I was like, honestly, the way he's playing so early in his career to be playing, because he's showing strength. I wasn't expecting him to have the strength that he has early on in his career, and this is just his first year. The way he's playing at an all-pro level, in my opinion. He's constantly disrupting the backfield. And I think we have a future all-pro in Maxx Crosby. And there's another player on our team that I think we have a future all-pro that's a rookie. And it's not who you think I'm going to say. I'm not going to say Josh Jacobs. Yes, Josh Jacobs will have a phenomenal career. He will be a perennial Pro Bowler, and he will get an All-Pro nod here and there. I believe he will. But another player that a lot of people are not talking about, that I have seen early on, with that moxie, with that confidence, that's right, Trayvon Mullen. Trayvon Mullen will be a future All-Pro. He's a certified stud. He tackles, sticky coverage, supreme confidence like Dion. I didn't say he had the skills set like Dion. I said he had the confidence like Dion, which is very important when you're talking about the position of a DB or a corner. It's a real island over there, and it's Mullen's Island. So this is probably 3 back-to-back games that I've just seen Mullen have potentially a pick 6, where he just cut on the route and he just dropped the ball. In his hand, dropped the ball. And it's getting to the point now, I'm expecting one of those almost every game. And in this game, he actually capitalized on it. And he said in the interview, he said, yeah, I had to make that one. I wasn't going to let that one go. He knew he had plenty of plays before, and you can see it. He's a certified real baller, real football player. You can just stick him in and don't have to worry about him the rest of the game. And you don't find those in the league. It's been so many first-round corners that has been taken in the draft. They end up not panning out. Garyon Conley is one, and I'm not going to bash him. Hopefully he have a good career with the Texans, but I don't think he just wasn't tough enough for my liking. Then you have Vernon Hargraves, which the Texans also picked up. He didn't end up panning out the Bucks. You have Eli Apple that became a second-tier corner. All top picks in the first round. So for us to be able to find us a potential and future All Pro. He's for sure gonna make the Pro Bowl. I'm not worried about that. But All Pro nod, that's how nasty I believe he can be. It's fortunate to find him in the second round, mid-second round. It's a steal. We already got one steal of the draft with Maxx Crosby, who's gonna be a future All Pro. Steal. Then you turn back around and get turn back around and get Mullins, who supposed to been, the way he's balling and playing right now, supposed to been easily a top 20 pick. Easy. In fact, in college, he actually never gave up a touchdown. I believe that's actually a fact. I've heard that many times, and I believe it actually is a fact that he never gave up a touchdown his entire collegiate career. And I think he played all the way into his junior year, I believe. So, how he felt in the second round, I don't know. But, hey, I'm happy to have him. And that just go back to the picks. We've been hitting on every pick. Every pick. John Gruden is special, and Mayock is special, and that relationship is special. Every pick they hit on. Only person that didn't pan out was the defensive end. And hell, they might bring him back in the offseason. Let him try out again. So we hit on every pick. And moving forward, these guys are going to be our foundational pieces. And the beautiful thing about it is we have them on a contract for years and years to come. So that's great. Moving along, the debut of Isaiah Johnson. Excuse me. Highly anticipated. I know I was ready to see him. Because John Gruden and Mayock, he was hurt second preseason game, first preseason game, somewhere off in there, and hadn't got a chance to really play, honestly, really until this game. I mean, he was activated last game, and he played special teams, but he never really got a chance to actually play a real defensive snap, actual defensive snap, if I'm not mistaken, until this actual game. So, you bet I was ready to see him and see what he can bring to the table. I felt like he supposed to got cut. And, they brought somebody else in at the end of the final roster cut, so I was surprised they even kept him. But I see why. The boy is explosive. He cut on the dime. He's 6'2". He ran a 4.4 flat. Track speed. Former wide receiver convert. And from what I'm seeing, they have a lot of confidence in him. John Gruden, Mayock, they do, and he's showing why they had that confidence in him through his play. I only seen him from one snap. I'm sure he got more snaps than that, but I only see on one snap. I had to watch the film and break it down. But on that film, on that shot I did see, he was playing outside, and I think it was a bunch that they was covering a bunch, and he covered his receiver, did an excellent job. He didn't over pursue. He read the play perfectly, and ironically, the ball ended up coming to him, and he batted the ball down perfectly, perfect position, and that right there is a great confidence boost for a young player such as Isaiah Johnson. Big plays ass, he liked to call himself on IG. That's a confidence booster. So he's coming out there making plays, his first game, and if we have any injuries, trust me, they're going to be quick to put him in. I think he kind of leapfrogged Nixon, and Nixon is another player that's going to be a beast and going to be a stud for us. So we loaded at the DB position. Well, cornerback position. We can always use some help at safety, but the injuries has riddled us this year. So we're doing a pretty good job of taking up and picking a load up. But yeah, good first step for Isaiah Johnson, and another great foundational piece. Another great draft pick by Mayock. I believe we got him in the third round. And once again, they're hitting on every pick. I mean, I never seen so many rookies actually contribute in 1 year. This remind me of, I was talking to my co-host, my cousin Tobias. I was telling him, like, this reminds me of when the Cowboys traded away Herschel Walker, which at the time was the hottest thing since sliced bread, and they traded him away for a King's ransom draft picks. I mean, they was loaded. We talking about 2 or 3 first round picks, second round picks, thirds. It was just loaded, and they used those picks to start the dynasty. And when you look at it over time, it paid off tremendously. I mean, they had tight ends in the later round in the draft that they had drafted the following year. They was contributing to the Super Bowl team. Offensive linemen, obviously. You had Emmitt Smith. You had Irving. You had Troy Aikman. You had all of these players that was accumulated through those first 2 years of those draft picks. And we still haven't saw the benefits of the second year yet. We still getting ready to eat on those. So this was from all the Khalil Mack trade and the acquisitions, and it's just been a beautiful thing to see. So I think, and I'm gonna go ahead and call this, the Raiders are back to greatness. You may not can see it right now because of the wins, but with that draft, we are building a dynasty again, and we're gonna be the team to beat a year from now. We're so young right now that the players don't even know what they're doing. That's why the coach don't give them too much sugar. He doesn't give them too much. He doesn't let them get the big head, because John Gruden is actually very, very, very satisfied with his team. And he's excited like a little schoolgirl, and he already loved coaching, but this is the reason why he coach. To be able to have young players come in and be able to follow the leader and listen and come in and play, that's not easy to do. That's why it's so important to hit on these draft picks, because having a guy for 1 year or having a guy for 2 years and then they're, a big deal in free agency, that doesn't help the team. Yeah, it was great. You have a window, to do something during that window. 4-year contracts is, that's what you want to have them on, so you can develop and be able to be there for the long haul and re-sign them possibly when you they're one of those pieces. So the Raiders hit on every pick, and we're gonna have a dynasty, and we're back to it. And I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I give us a Super Bowl, at least one Super Bowl in the next 2 years. In the next 3 years, the next 4 years, we should have 2 Super Bowls. And then on their 5th year, we're going to get another Super Bowl. Yep. Yeah. We can get at least 2 Super Bowls. And if we play it right, we can get 3 Super Bowls. Because the Patriots that year, I think they won 2 Super Bowls back to back. And then they went off 1 year. And then they came back and won another Super Bowl the following year. So, yes, I'm calling. Yes, the Raiders in the Super Bowl. Yes, you heard it here first. On first snap, the Raiders are going to be in the Super Bowl. I'll give them next year, they're going to make it to the Super Bowl. And I give them winning the Super Bowl. Am I going to call it like that? Next year we win the Super Bowl. I'm just going to straight up call it. Next year we win the Super Bowl. This year we'll make it to the second round of the playoffs this year. and surprise a lot of people. And then we'll build out a draft, have a high draft pick from Chicago, and Mayock and Gruden going to do magic again, and that's going to be our Super Bowl year. We're going to win our first Super Bowl next year. Silver and black Super Bowl ring is coming back to the Raiders trophy. But I know that's a lot to digest, but that's what it's about. That's what we've been building these pieces for. That's what we've been grinding for to get back to the bowl. So let's continue. That's so exciting, though. Wow. Just imagine the Super Bowl ring and how sick that'll be. I have to at least get a replica, at least. Man, Josh Jacobs, another stellar performance by Josh Jacobs, which is becoming a theme. He's looking like he's getting actually more healthy. I haven't heard anything about an injury or anything like that. So he's been looking good as usual. That's the offensive rookie of the year, and everybody's calling it. So we got that. And honestly, with a 4-sack performance by Crosby, hey, why not defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year? Why not? I mean, yeah, they got Bosa over there, and he got a bigger name. But hell, did Bosa have 4 sacks in one game? Did he take over like that? Hey, it's worth an argument at least, and that's what we want. Hell, if we get him in an argument for defensive rookie of the year, hell, we done did our work, didn't we, in the Raider Nation? We done did our job, didn't we? So I love Clee as well. I'm not going in on Clee. Of course, everybody's trying to hop back on, and after the 2.5 sack performance and the 8 tackles, they trying to hop back on board and say, oh yeah, well, I can see. I've been seeing it in him. I just told people early on that he's not a pass rusher at this point in his career yet. He's a run stopper. Do he have the moves? Can he develop into a pass rusher? Yes, absolutely. But Cleveland Fair's problem was early on was he was looking in the backfield before he actually addressed the tackle or the lineman in front of him. And they was able to put their hands on his chest and lock up easily. And that happened the first, I don't know how many games. On the run, he's extending his arms. He can see the running back coming towards him. He's identifying the running back, and he's able to get rid of the player and make the play. The last game when he had went off, which was, I think it was the Chargers, first off, they did have backup offensive linemen, but that's what you're supposed to do with backups. You're supposed to dominate, and he did dominate. So he was able to, just be a little bit more natural and not focus so much on the backfield and focus on the man in front of him. He beat the man in front of him. So we're looking good. So I'm satisfied with his development. But I'm not satisfied, overall. I want more from Clee. So, but his development is coming along well. Our offense against the Bengals was good enough. And this is what I'm starting to see a theme here. Our offense is getting to the point where they're good enough to pretty much score on any team and make plays on any team. But I don't want to just be good enough. I want to be great. And the offense is an old school offense. The formation, based off formations. And what I have noticed is John Gruden does sprinkle in some nice little trick plays, nice little finesse plays here and there. But the core of our offense is old school tight formation, heavy tight end, fullback, running down your throat. One receiver set. You got some 2 receiver sets as well. And pretty much, we're going to use what our strength is, our offensive line and our stable of backs, Josh Jacobs. We're going to use that to beat you guys. And I like that. you're going to make them play our game and not the other way around. We got to play based off what the defense. No, you're going to play our game. I like that. So, but I'm afraid that in the future that we might have difficulties being creative to be able to, get points. And with that offense, hell, he got the tight end, he got the other tight end. I got the receiver. If you just go man to man on some of these situations, you can eliminate some of these plays because the routes on them are not really complicated. Now he got some plays, like I say, with some little special plays. Gruden got him in his offense, and really Gruden got a whole arsenal of plays. It's just he chooses to have this balanced type of old school type of offense. So I just want us to be a little bit more explosive. I want to see a little bit more big plays, and then I can be able to get off their back as far as being able to create and have these big plays when we need them. And like I said, we got enough. It's good enough to beat teams, but we need to be more than good enough. So I want to see improvement on just overall just the development of the play calling. I want to see it open up a little bit more. I want to see more deep shots. And I want to see, more design plays for Waller and more design plays for Josh Jacobs out the backfield. Whether that's screens or whatever, you got to be on it. So we're not bad on offense. In that game, it was a couple miscues we had. Derek Carr threw the interception, and I saw that. I wasn't really mad about that, but that's one of those things we do have to clean up. And John Gruden said it was a hell of a play by the safety. It was. I explained to my cousin on that what happened, and Derek Carr actually didn't stare him down. He actually looked him off, and then he went to the receiver, and then he stared. He was looking at the receiver that he was going to throw. So he looked the safety off. The safety actually just took a chance. He had the option. He's supposed to cover the deep on the middle of the field, but in that position he chose to go to Hunter Renfrow, which Derek Carr was hitting repeatedly before that. If you remember, he was constantly hitting Renfrow in the slot. So Derek Carr went to the well too many times, and the safety said, "Hey, I'm going to jump this route because I believe he's going to go there again." And true enough, Derek Carr did, and that led to the pick. So I don't see those. I don't foresee those happening continuously. Derek Carr's still been on the rip, and hell, I'll take that out of 6 games, no interception, and then you have one in the 6th game. Yeah, I'll take that. 6 or 7 game when he had, I'm not sure. So the defense, I think one of our biggest struggles is still stopping the run. I know we're not the worst in the league, and we're not the best in the league. But I want to see us stop the run when we need to stop the run. And we did that towards the end of the game. But it was a few plays where we got gashed, and they just straight up running up the middle, man on the man, out formation, right up the middle. I feel like we just need to get strong in their position. And that's going to help with the linebacker play of us grabbing Preston Brown. And I believe it's going to help a lot with the run defense, which we need. And our pass defense is not bad, actually. I think Swearinger going to look good when he going to look good. It was a couple communication issues that we had early on, but I believe Swearinger is going to be just fine. And he's going to be a great acquisition. I like Deion Jordan. I think he did a great job his first game. I like how they was using him. I think he has good hand movement, and he could be just a little bit more aggressive at the point of attack. But I do like what I'm seeing from Deion Jordan, and he actually took some snaps away from Clee. If you notice that Clee wasn't in the game as much, and you would think they would feed Clee out there a 2.5 sack performance, but they did that for a reason, and they don't want Clee to get to a point where he hit the rookie wall. So they're keeping him on these little snap counts and everything like that because they want him to continue to be productive. So if you had 2.5 sacks and you come into a game where you don't get that many sacks or snaps, you're going to basically be feeling like, hey, I can't wait to get out there again. I'm ready to explode. I just had a dominant game. Let me explode again. And then you explode again because you're so excited to get back out there versus you going in and then you don't make a single play that game and your confidence goes down a little bit because you're like, hey, I'm supposed to dominate. No. We're going to keep you fresh, going to keep you hot, and we're going to keep you ready. You're still hot as a firecracker. Next game, look for Clee to get plenty of snaps and him back to being explosive in the backfield. Alrighty. I talked about us being a dynasty. I see it. It's written all over the wall. The Raiders are going to be a dynasty. Watch out for the Raiders. They're going to be winning Super Bowls after Super Bowl. And if you keep playing, they might take over. The era of Tom Brady and the Patriots is winding down. They're just not looking explosive anymore. People are figuring them out. They don't have Gronk anymore. It's getting to the point right now. The tides are turning. People are looking at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the scariest thing. Then you have the Texans and you have these other teams coming up, this and that. The Texans, I believe you can stop the Texans. Their defense is suspect, but the Ravens are looking really good. And the Raiders are going to be one of those teams going to be in the mix. They're going to kick ass. People are catching on to Patrick Mahomes. They're not scared of the Chiefs anymore. I believe we're going to win the next game we play against them. So the Raiders are on the way, and it's all because of that draft, that one draft, and that one offseason of picking up those acquisitions. So many foundational pieces. I mean, it's mind-boggling. So that about does it. Raider Nation, Raiders versus Bengals. This is my game recap. It's a great game. We had a pretty good game overall. If we didn't have that turnover and that fumble by Josh Jacobs, then we're talking about us pretty much, putting in, I'll say at least having 24 points to their team. At least 24 points. And that's what you're supposed to see when you play against players like the Bengals and things of that nature. So, you're supposed to dominate. So, that fumble by Josh Jacobs, that's not going to happen again for the rest of the year. And you're not going to see Derek Carr throwing those interceptions. He's in the zone, and like I said, the safety made a good play. So, those things are correctable. Next game we play against the Jets, I see the Jets are going to be harder than the Bengals. They got a better defense, and I think they're just a better team than the Bengals. So that's not going to be an easy game either. None of these games are easy. And I'm glad Coach Gruden was preaching that because some of these games these folks get lax, and then you'll do something like the Cowboys did and lose to the Bengals or something like that. So, stuff like that happens with teams that are not prepared. Yeah, we was down a little bit when we fell off, but we hopped back on and was able to do what we need to do. And that's what you want to see in your team. So, great job by the Raiders. And I expect us to take care of business next game and prepare for the Chiefs going in at 7-4. All right. That's it for today. I'm Zay Yancey. This is First Snap Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Let me hear you guys respond to how you think. I want to just know how you guys feel about us being a dynasty. Maxx Crosby being an All-Pro. Trayvon being an All-Pro. I see it in these guys. I see it in their eyes. Get their jersey. You don't have to worry about them guys getting traded no time soon. And I love Hunter Renfrow as well. He's going to be an absolute stud. Until next time, Raider Nation, Zay Yancey out. Let's get it.